Yo, what up guys, JP back at you once again, bringing you guys another review here on Body Bags. This time I am reviewing the horror comedy from the year 2014, made its media release in 2015. I'm talking about Zombeavers. This film follows a group of girls. The first girl is kind of our lead, and she is seemingly the good girl. She has a friend who's like her best friend, and then there's like the annoying slutty girl. And they decide to go out to a cabin by the lake because the lead girl, the kind of good girl, is going through a breakup because her boyfriend cheated on her. Unbeknownst to them, at least some of them, the boyfriends show up, so it's kind of this awkward situation where you have the one girl who's a little upset but decides to let him stay because, you know, she's a nice girl, and obviously she's mad because the dude cheated on her and now he's there, so it's this awkward situation. And then they end up getting attacked by beavers. And they're not just any beavers, because earlier on in the film we see a barrel of toxic waste fall off of a truck that was driven by idiots. And this toxic waste lands in the beaver dam, and, you know, they turn into zombies. So now you have this chaotic hilarity that ensues, and they're trying to survive these zombeavers. And that's kind of your plot. But it's a little more than that. And, you know, typically when I hear films like this, I roll my eyes because I know that they're the type of films that I typically don't like. And when I don't like them, it's more in the vein of like the sci-fi original movies where there's just no heart. There's nothing to it. It's just, look how silly we are. You know what I mean? This is different. It has heart. It has clever jokes. It's a funny movie. It actually is. I would actually liken it to Black Sheep. If you liked Black Sheep, you will like Zombeavers, because it's that similar type of humor, and it's similar in its practical effects. There's some gore. It's a ridiculous idea and concept, but they kind of play it serious. So even though what we're saying is kind of ridiculous, the characters are aware that the situation is a little ridiculous, but they treat it seriously. And I think that's when these type of movies work the best. It's honestly a very funny movie. The timing, and that's something that I noticed in this film, the timing of the jokes are spot on. They just hit. They hit, hit, hit. The beat of them is perfect. And I actually laughed out loud, which is very rare for me to do because I just don't really laugh out loud. I laugh like in my head, and I laughed out loud at this film. It was very funny, and honestly, it's a typical like siege narrative type thing. You know, a bunch of people at a lake. There's these zombies outside. They just happen to be beavers, though. It follows the formula very well. And it's a good formula because it still works to this day. I like the setup of the film. I like the things that they were going through. I like their solutions to the problems. I like the fails of the problems. It's decently paced, decently worked out. I honestly didn't have many problems with this film at all. Granted, it's not the best movie in the world. There's not, you can't really, it's just never going to be, right? It's just never going to be an amazing movie, but it's definitely a very fun movie that I would honestly highly recommend, especially if you're a fan of horror comedies, which I'm typically not, but this one is really good. Like I said, it's similar to Black Sheep, and I give it a 7 out of 10. Check it out. It's a lot of fun. I enjoyed it a lot. I actually liked the characters. I thought all of them were pretty funny and cool in their own way, although cliche. It's a good movie. Check it out. Peace.